Live from their studio in a hole in the wall, it's Rat Chat, brought to you by Cheese. And now, here they are, your hosts, those literary loving rodents, Stanley and Morris. Today, a surprise reviewer is joining Stanley and Morris. Would our mystery guest sign in, please? We'll begin our questioning with Morris.
Let's see. Do we know you?
Yes.
1 down, 4 to go. Stanley.
Do you like to read?
Yes.
2 down, 3 to go. Morris.
Are you disguising your voice?
No.
Are you Aunt Tilly? Hey, how are you, Aunt Tilly?
I'm freezing, that's how I am. When I left Miami, it was 80 degrees.
Yeah, well, let's warm up with a good book.
Good idea.
This is a subject you know well, Aunt Tilly. The New Jersey Meadowlands.
Know it intimately. Lived there, worked there for years. I've seen it all.
Yeah, well, let's look inside this interesting book of nonfiction, shall we?
It's like the Lincoln Tunnel in here. I can't see where I'm going.
Stan, turn on the flashlight.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Jeez, hold
Let
on.
me sit already.
All right.
Okay, here we go. The Meadowlands, a wetland survival story by Thomas F. Yezerski.
Hey, look at that map. All the places we know are right there. The Passaic River, you got your Secaucus, you got your Hudson River.
And Brooklyn. You know, that's where your Uncle Vern lives with his side of the family.
Yeah, still in Brooklyn, eh? Didn't know that.
In this book, Mr. Yezerski, who's both author and illustrator, gives the reader a unique history of this urban wilderness known as the Meadowlands.
Hey, nicely put. I am eager to continue.
He begins giving the reader a bird's-eye view from the top of the Empire State Building in New York City. To many looking out from there to New Jersey, they see the Meadowlands as just smelly swamps, or where the stadiums and airport are located.
Yeah, of course.
But it is much more. The Meadowlands is actually an estuary.
That Stan is one wordsmith, Aunt Tilly.
I hear. I'm proud of you, Stanley.
Oh, thanks, Aunt Tilly. Mr. Yezerski gives us a bit of history going back to the Lenni Lenape and the Dutch settlers of the 1600s.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Absolutely. Then he brings us up to the mid-20th century. By then, the marshlands were crisscrossed with highways, railways, runways. There were factories, refineries, laboratories. The Meadowlands became their wasteland.
You're telling me mountains of garbage and pools of chemicals, fires popping up all over from exploding methane gas. It was just horrible.
Mr. Yezerski then explains in the late 1960s, the state of New Jersey began to close the landfills and stop chemical dumping. And despite developers reducing the size of the wetlands to only 7,000 acres, those wetlands began to show new life.
I remember it well. Hackensack River flows south. The tide from the Atlantic rose north, and twice a day they met up in the Meadowlands, just like they had done for over 10,000 years. And that's what gave the ecosystem and us wildlife a chance to recover.
Right you are, Aunt Tilly, right you are. Mr. Yezerski colorfully illustrates how less pollution brought back snails, worms, insects, fish of all kinds.
Hey, those fiddler crabs are dancing once again.
Yeah, as are the sandpipers and ducks.
You know, I like the way this author and illustrator frames the main illustrations with smaller images.
Yeah.
Effective.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that brown rat looks like your cousin Howard.
Yeah, he does. In 2007, for the first time in 50 years, osprey nested in the Meadowlands.
Get out of here.
And their young took flight.
Wow.
The recovery of the Meadowlands, as Mr. Yezerski so adroitly points out,
Adroitly. Good word choice.
thank you, inspires and gives hope for other urban wetlands all over the world. It was not easy to be green when the meadowlands were not clean, they were not clean. But now it's a great place for ladybugs, bloodworms, grass, shrimp, butterflies, snails, mosquitoes, flounder, turtles, and all such kind of rats like us.
So, Aunt Tilly, do the honors. What are you giving this book on the cheeseometer?
It is fascinating reading for all ages. I agree with Captain Bill Sheehan, who you may know is the Hackensack River Keeper,
Oh, yeah.
when he says not since John R. Quinn's Fields of Sun and Grass has a book on this subject gotten it right. I'm giving Meadowlands, a wetlands survival story, an entire wheel brie.
Wow. She likes it, all right.
Yeah! So, for all of you ecological supporters out there that care about us wildlife, please read this important book by Thomas F. Yezerski. And remember, don't litter.
So keep clean, recycle, don't pollute, and remember to join us next time on
Rat Chat!